Hi everyone. So in my Ipsy bag, I did get Wander Beauty's Wanderless Seaside Escape. So I'm going to do a makeup look with it. Sorry, I am sick right now. So I'm going to be a little bit mouth breathing. And that because I can't breathe through my nose. So definitely kind of pretty colors there. I'm just going to start with a nice fluffy brush. And go into Sand Dollar. So I just like to kind of like go on to my outer edge, fluff it out, and then just do a little sweep. So fluff and then sweep, because I really want to try and pull out my eyes, creating a little bit of that lift. Going in with a smaller, tightly packed brush, I'm just going to build that color. And then I'm going to take Seafoam with an eyeshadow brush and just apply this to my lid. It's definitely kind of one of these greeny golds. So nothing's really coming up onto the brush really. So I'm going to use my finger. And then going in with Golden Reef. Let's see if this one will pick up on an eyeshadow brush. So that one at least comes up. I think you're going to get more of an impact using your finger. I'm just going to kind of go into Coastal. And mix it with Golden Reef. So I just want a Golden Reef a little bit darker of a shade. So I'm just going to kind of buff out. I'm going to take Golden Reef and apply it to my lower lash line. And then I'm just going to take Champagne Harbor and apply it to my inner corner. And brow bone. So I'm going to check in to see how it lasts. But going in to my Ipsy bag, I did get a blush from Kaleadu Cosmetics. Totally saying that wrong. So they're cruelty free no matter what, and vegan. So it's kind of like a shimmery blush there. And then from my last month's Ipsy, I did get Maneater by Tarte. And then just to finish off my look, I am going to put on Buxom's lip gloss in Claire. I did kind of get the La Prairie and Pixie in my bag as well, but this is kind of enough makeup for me to go about my day. I didn't want to try this out throughout my day just because it's going to be a long day, and sometimes I find like concealer will start to look a little dry, so I didn't want to risk it, but I will definitely try those products out and that at the end of my day just to see how they kind of do. So I shall check back in later tonight. So checking in, it is like 12 hours later, so definitely the blush really isn't kind of there anymore. The eyeshadow I don't feel is as vibrant, like just kind of going in to see that difference. Like if we can tell, right? Bright, not really there. I do still kind of like this palette, even though I think you would have to, like, I would recommend an eye primer and setting spray to have it last longer. I just do think like this color is so beautiful. So swatching them for you, I have Champagne Harbor, which is a nice like inner corner shade, like highlighting your eyebrow. You have Sea Salt, which is like a nice kind of pinky shade. It is a little bit more sheer, I find. Your Golden Reef, which is a nice coppery shade. You have a nice kind of warm transition color with your Sand Dollar. Your Seafoam, I just find is like a really pretty color. And then Coastal. And I do like how you can kind of mix Coastal and Golden Reef to kind of maybe get like a darkerish browny blue. And that, so I feel like they're like 30 something dollars. I would definitely say like maybe on sale. So for me, like I think $24 is kind of the max I would kind of spend on it, because I do think it is more of that like smaller palette. But I did get it with my ipsy for $12 American, so it kind of comes up to like $16 Canadian. So definitely for $16 Canadian, I'm not mad at it. I really do like that shade, even though the longevity of the shadow isn't really there. And you definitely have to use like your finger. A brush doesn't really work for that color. I still like the colors. I do think like it gives you kind of everything you need in a small little palette. So I'd say also with the Maneater, like not as bad. Like I was kind of like, it doesn't really do much for my lashes, but like I think like it performs well. I don't think it necessarily gives like a curve that I want, but it doesn't clump them up, just kind of showing those lashes off. So I definitely think like trying out Maneater for kind of like the day, I found it nice. With the Buxom lip gloss, like it's just gonna kind of last you like a standard lip gloss. It does kind of have like that cooling, plumping sensation, but it's not one of those ones that I find necessarily irritating. It's kind of like when you like brush your teeth and like you get your toothpaste and it feels like a little minty fresh, and that sensation of like cooling. So it's not like one where you're like, this is hurting my lips, and like it just feels like cooling on my lips. So I don't mind that. I think it's a nice kind of pretty color, so I'm not mad at that. I want to try the palette again because I do like the colors. I just didn't like the longevity of the product. So I'm going to put on from Urban Decay. I got in my hair. Their eyeshadow primer potion. So just putting a little size amount. And this is like a sample that I've gotten of enough kind of like eyeshadow primer samples. But I do think this one is a nice one. What I've previously gotten but haven't really tried out is my Shape Tape base tape. So because you don't have like oil producing kind of pores around your eyes, it is kind of nice to kind of put a concealer or a moisturizer kind of there. So I definitely think I used maybe a little bit too much. That's okay, because you want to just kind of hydrate that skin and then put it on. So like I find like even just like using that base tape I like, so using my Shape Tape, it's definitely using a little bit more there, but that's okay. And then one of the soft beauty blend, like velvet beauty blenders that I got also from my Ipsy, and I do like it. Like I think it's like nice. So if you haven't tried like the velvet one, I think it's worth a try. And like, man, Shape Tape, you just need to really put a little down. What I kind of like about the velvet one is you can really like just kind of go across and smooth things out. So like companies should make these and stop making like the silicone chicken cutlet makeup sponges. I call them all like beauty blenders even though they're not, because I feel like beauty blenders really just become like the Kleenex, right? The Kleenex is a brand name, but that's what we call facial tissues. So I did get La Prairie, no, because that's a different one, Bella Prairie Cosmetics, their HD finishing powder. So because I just kind of only do concealer on my face, I definitely have like a lot. Oh god, like a lot of setting powders because I don't really use that much. Oh god. So it definitely has really big holes. Just doing one side with their sponge. It did kind of get everywhere, right? But like it's a really good size, right? Like to me, like that's a full-size product. It is a little messy and that, so I'm just gonna let it sit on my face like a weirdo for a little bit. And then just because I'm not really baking with it, I'm just gonna brush. And then from Meech and Mia, I did get their eyeshadow in taupe, but I think it's more like a bronze shade a little. So that's what I'm gonna use it for. Again, I did get this as part of my ipsy. Right, so it's just kind of like a nice cool tone. I always think with like bronzer, you just want to like highlight your natural features and just like almost it should be kind of faint, right? With it. I'm going back into my Clear blush. So it's not necessarily that long lasting, but like I really just find cream blushes, maybe those only ones that will kind of last me all day. Going into my Wanderer Beauty with their Wanderless Seaside Escape. Again, I'm going to go into Sand Dollar. I'm just going in with my Morphe M441 because I find it just like disperses the color. So I really find if you want to sheer out a color, I find it nice for that. And then I'm going to go in with Champagne Harbor, and I am just going to kind of use my finger. Then I'm going to go in with sea salt and apply this to my outer corner. And then I'm just going to go into Sand Dollar and apply this to my lower lash line. So with my Pixie by Pedra eye pencil crown, I just want to kind of give myself a little bit of a wing because it is a light outer corner. I want to keep it light, so I'm just kind of going from my pupil outwards. So it is kind of like a nice pencil in that it's like really creamy. And then I just went in with an angle brush just to kind of smooth out the line. And again, I'll go in with my Man Eater. So I feel like the Man Eater is growing on me. I feel like it just doesn't give me enough lift. So I am someone who kind of does like to use kind of sometimes two mascaras, right? One to kind of lengthen and then one to maybe like, so one for like volume, one for like the curl and that. And I'm going to use my Urban Decay All Nighter to set my face. So I will check in at the end of my day to see how this held up. I do think, like, I like it. I think it looks nice and like ethereal, and that, so let's see if it holds up better this time. Checking in, probably looking about like 10 hours later, and definitely like it stayed on, right? So I'm really happy about that because I really do like the colors of this palette. Like, I think it's really pretty. And that, my Pixie by Pedra, I'm also impressed with. Like, if you were to pick up a pencil, like, it's a nice kind of one. Like, it's still on my eyes. Like, my makeup still looks the same. So definitely, like, Urban Decay, if you want to have your eyeshadows extend and your makeup look extend, I definitely think it's well worth it. And then my blush is still kind of there, so it did extend the life of it. Just kind of going in and seeing that difference, right? It's not like as rosy, but you still have some of that blush, and what it remains is still kind of nice. I just feel my stats aren't even. Oh no. So I do feel that it's a nice blush, right? And I'm not like a big shiny blush person, but I do feel like this one's kind of nice for spring and summer, of like giving you that nice glow. And I'm really happy that with the Wander Beauty, if you use an eye primer and setting spray, that your look can last you all day. And then, like, definitely Tarte's Maneater, you know, a little too hard on it. Like, not a bad one for kind of creating length and maybe a little bit more of that volume. It's just not maybe great for that curl. So it would be one if I wanted to do a two-step mascara, and I am someone who does that, right? If like you've never tried it, you know, sometimes I find with like the volumous mascaras, they kind of clump up. So if I do one that's really gonna like separate and lengthen, I just get my perfect lash. So I'm okay using two products and being a crazy person like that. So thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope you have a great day. Bye.